Okay, hello, and welcome to the Polaris HUBZone Pool Orientation. My name is Jacqueline Rhodes, and I serve as the Business Management Specialist in the Small Business GWAC Program Support Division, Federal Acquisition Service Information Technology category. I'm also your Polaris HUBZone Program Manager and will be your host for today's session. First, I want to say congratulations on your award under the Polaris GWAC HUBZone poll, and thank you for taking the time to join us today. We're excited to officially kick off our post-award engagement with you. First, let's start with some housekeeping items. Then I'll walk through the agenda and introduce your Polaris HUBZone team. A few housekeeping slides. Our next slide, please. A few housekeeping items for today's session. Today's presentation will be recorded. To help minimize background noise, all attendees are on mute. The chat function has been disabled. While this is our kickoff meeting, it's just the beginning of our engagement with you. We will be inviting you to additional training sessions in the new year for GSA's eBuy, our sales reporting portal, one-on-one meetings, and more. If you have questions during the session, please feel free to use the Q&A pod within Zoom. At the conclusion of today's presentation, we'll compile the submitted questions and send a summary with responses. Finally, a copy of the slide deck will be provided to all attendees after today's session. Turning to the agenda, here's how we've structured today's orientation. I've covered the housekeeping items. Next, we are pleased to have opening remarks from Mr. Larry Hale, Acting Assistant Commissioner of Information Technology, Federal Acquisition Service. We'll then move into the contracting review and requirements presented by Megan Prude, our Polaris HUBZone Contract Specialist. After that, Anjanette Alvarado, our Program Analyst, will cover reporting requirements that include the use of the Sales Reporting Portal. Then I will provide the business development overview. Finally, I will lead us through the wrap-up and next steps, including key reminders and follow-up items. We expect to cover a lot of important content today, but again, we'll have follow-on training and resources to support you after this orientation. Next slide. With that, I'd like to move into our opening remarks. We're honored to have Mr. Hale with us today. Mr. Hale serves as our Acting Assistant Commissioner for the Information Technology category in GSA's Federal Acquisition Service. He plays a key leadership role in shaping GSA's government-wide IT acquisition strategy, including our family of IT GWACs such as Polaris. We're very grateful for his time and support of the Polaris GWAC program and our small business partners. With that said, Mr. Hale, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Jacqueline. And good morning, everyone. And to those of you in the Eastern time zone, good afternoon. Welcome. As Jacqueline said, I'm Larry Hale, the Acting Assistant Commissioner for the Office of the IT category at GSA. It's great to see so many of you joining us as we kick off this next chapter for Polaris. Today marks an exciting moment. We've issued the first phase of awards for the HUBZone and service-disabled veteran-owned small business pools, and we're thrilled to have you here with us. We've worked hard to get here, and we are now positioned to help agencies deliver real capability where it matters most. Polaris was built for exactly this purpose, to connect federal missions with highly qualified small businesses that know how to innovate, operate, and deliver. Whether it's artificial intelligence, cloud, cybersecurity, automation, or data solutions, Polaris gives our agencies a modern, flexible way to keep pace with rapidly evolving technology. And it does so while strengthening our small business industrial base and reflecting the talent found in communities across the country. These pool awards show that small businesses, especially our HUBZone partners, are at the forefront of federal innovation. The expertise found in the Polaris GWAC supports local economic growth, advances digital information, and ensures agencies have trusted partners ready for mission challenges ahead. We all know this is not the finish line, but rather the launch point, as Polaris was designed to grow and adapt over time. The work ahead is important, and you, our industry partners, play a central role in that success. So thank you again for being here. Thank you for your commitment to mission-driven technology innovation. And congratulations to our newest Polaris awardees. We're excited to work with you. If you need any assistance with Polaris, don't hesitate to reach out to your GSA team members for support. Thank you again. With that, I'll hand it back to Acklin.
Thank you, Mr. Hill, for those remarks and for your continued support of the Polaris program. Next slide. Next, I'd like to introduce the Polaris HUBZone team that will be supporting you going forward. Again, I'm Acklin Roach, your program manager. I will be your primary point of contact for the Polaris HUBZone program, level issues, business development, and customer engagement. Akil Sibri is the procuring contracting officer for the HUBZone pool and is responsible for overall contracting, oversight, and key contractual decisions. Megan Prude is our contract specialist supporting Akil in the day-to-day contracting administrative activities. She will be leading the contracting review and requirements portion of today's presentation. While we will be your primary contacts day-to-day with the Polaris HUBZone pool, understand there is a larger team across GSA working to support our agency customers and you, our industry partners. We'll speak about some of them today and plan to have them join at future events for the HUBZone pool. For general questions related to the Polaris HUBZone, the best way to reach us is through our shared team inbox at polarishubzone@gsa.gov. Messages sent there are monitored by our team and will be routed to the appropriate program or contracting point of contact. With that, we'll move into the contracting overview. I'll now like to turn it over to Megan Prude. Megan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Acklin. And yes, again, congratulations to all awardees. Great job. As stated, my name is Megan Prude, Contract Specialist for the HUBZone pool. For this section of the presentation, we want to highlight some contracting elements, official forms of communication that you will be using with the Polaris team for reporting and contract administration. Next slide. We plan to go over knowing your contract, FedConnect, as well as CSCRM requirements. Let's get started. Next slide. So as the contractor, I know questions are bound to arise. We strongly encourage a thorough review of the contract documentation, as sometimes it often contains the answers you seek and provides a foundational understanding of our agreement. Some key elements of the agreement that we would like to highlight now: pricing and approved labor rates. The contractor must adhere to the instructions and definitions for each reported data element as stated within the government designated system webpage. Your J5 attachment lists your approved rates for this awarded contract. Please be mindful of max rates and labor categories with time and material and labor hour contract types, scope, and ancillary support. The principal nature of any resulting task order procurement must be for IT services. However, ancillary support may be included when it is integral to and necessary for the IT service-based effort. Deliverables and reporting requirements. Polaris is a performance-based contract with measurable standards in terms of quality and timeliness of deliverables in accordance with Section F.6 deliverables and Attachment J1 Performance Requirement Summary. Accurate and timely reporting is crucial. Subcontracting. As the prime contractor, you are responsible for your subcontractor's performance and compliance with all contract terms. Subcontracting decisions are at your discretion. However, please be aware of the limitations according to FAR reference G.219-14. And as a reminder, there is no subcontractor approval at the master contract level. However, it can be achieved at the task order level. Next slide, please. Now let's discuss FedConnect. FedConnect is the platform for communication or document exchange related to this contract. It is essential that you register and become proficient in using FedConnect. Registration is a straightforward process. You will need to visit the FedConnect website, fedconnect.net/FedConnect, and follow the instructions. During the registration process, you will be asked to provide your company's information and contact details. Once registered, FedConnect will house the base contract as well as any future modifications. You will also receive contract notifications through FedConnect, so it is important to check it regularly. Please acknowledge the Polaris agreement within FedConnect upon registration completion, and training resources plus support are available on the FedConnect website to help you navigate the system. Next slide, please. To ensure contractors remain aware of and are implementing emerging CSCRM requirements over the life of the master contract, per Section G.17.1, a Polaris CSCRM plan must be submitted. This plan is due 120 calendar days after NTP and within 30 calendar days after the end of each contract year. A CSCRM template and guide was provided last week, and as the slide indicates, more in-depth training will be provided with a target date of January 2026. As a reminder, the contractor must notify the government within 30 days of any material changes to their CSCRM plan, and the CSCRM plan template may be updated by GSA throughout contract performance to reflect current CSCRM factors. That's all I have, and with that, I will hand it to our program analyst, Anjanette. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Megan. Hello, everyone. I am Anjanette Alvarado. I am the program analyst point of contact for this contract. I'm part of IT Services Business and Operations Division. My team works to make sure GWAC contracts meet regulatory requirements, fiduciary responsibilities, and we ensure contractual compliance on reporting requirements. Next slide, please. I'm going to just talk about transactional data reporting and the contract access fee. Please refer to Section F6 in the contract for clear guidance on reporting requirements, what is expected of you as far as reporting order data and when these items are due. Highlights from F6 that pertain to TDR. Task order award and modification data are due by the 30th calendar day after the month in which the contract action was signed by the OCO. Invoice data is due by the 30th calendar day after the month in which the invoice was paid by the client. Zero invoice data is also due by the 30th calendar day after the month in which no invoice was reported by the client. CAF data. CAF must be reported and paid within 30 calendar days after the end of each reporting quarter in which the invoice was reported, and quarters are based on a calendar year. The system you will be reporting in is the Federal Acquisition Service Sales Reporting Portal, which we refer to as SRP. SRP is a web-based application that collects sales data, and it is where you will report and pay CAF. You will self-register in SRP. SRP checks your registration information, your name and email address against FSS online, so make sure your data is correct in that system. We will share user guides on how to register. TDR data means task orders, modifications, invoices, and CAF will all be reported in SRP. There are some auto feeds from FPDS and GSA Assist, and you can try to add your orders in as well. All entries will go through an approval process before being accepted in the system. Subcontracting data will also be reported in SRP. We will be hosting a training session next month on reporting in SRP, so watch for an email to be sent out in the next couple of weeks. Thank you. Next slide, and back to Acklin.
Thank you, Anjanette. Okay, as your program manager, I will be giving you the business development overview. Next slide, please. This slide provides GWAC resources available to you and important information. They include the GWAC sales dashboard, GSA eBuy, GWAC salary review resource, the Polaris website, webpage, and marketing material requirements, and where to find customer training and tips for success. Next slide, please. Here I've provided a screenshot of the GWAC dashboard. The GWAC dashboard is an online interactive tool that enables you to access and analyze the data related to task orders issued through GWACs. It is designed to help keep you informed about procurement decisions by offering detailed insights into GWAC usage. The dashboard typically includes information such as the number of task orders which federal agencies are using the GWACs, how frequently they use them, and the volume of their orders. It will also show you which industry partners have received task orders, including how many orders they have received and the total dollar amounts obligated under each GWAC, which offers you a view of agency spending trends. If you click the Data Feed tab at the top, it will take you to the next screen. Next slide. On this screen, you can run reports on all or a specific GWAC, agency, and/or filters listed on the right side of the screen. The dashboard data can be used to identify task orders nearing completion, which might present opportunities. Instructions on how to download your data into Excel are highlighted in yellow. Next slide, please. Now we'll review how to use eBuy to find and respond to opportunities for Polaris. eBuy is the tool GSA recommends to agencies for posting RFQs, RFPs, and RFIs for Polaris. So it's important that you understand how to utilize eBuy and find opportunities for your contracts. Today we'll review logging into eBuy, managing your contract, finding opportunities, and training and resources. In order to use eBuy, you must first register your Polaris contract with the VSC, which is the Vendor Support Center. You should have gotten or received the email with registration instructions on how to complete this process. A few things to note. Please make sure the email that you use to register is the same email that you use to log into eBuy for the first time. If you try to log into eBuy with a login associated with a different email than the one you registered with, you will not be able to see your contract. Next slide, please. Logging into eBuy is simple. You go to ebuy.gsa.gov. You're going to log in as a contractor at the top right-hand side of your screen, and you're going to follow the instructions provided. In order to use eBuy, you have to have registered your Polaris contract in the VSC. If you don't do that part, you will not be able to log into eBuy to see your contract. Next slide, please. After logging in, you will be prompted to select a contract to view and manage. This will be a drop-down of all contracts that you are assigned to in eBuy. This might be your first contract, or you might have several listed here. If you don't see your contract, make sure that you've registered the same email in VSC that you use to log into eBuy, and that you are a POC on that contract. If you know you are not the main POC on that contract, be sure to be added as an associated POC. Please make sure you reach out to the main POC for the contract to make sure that they have appropriately added you within the eBuy system. If you are the registered point of contact who registered in VSC and you don't see your contract listed, when you go into the eBuy, please reach out to the VSC help desk, which I will be providing that information later on in the presentation. Once logged in, you will have a banner. Read and accept terms of service. Once you're on the home page, you can download the contractor job aid at any time. It has detailed guides to assist you in navigating eBuy for sellers. Next slide. Now you're on the home page. Your home page will allow you to navigate to different sections of eBuy. You have the request finder. The request finder provides a quick way for you to find and open any request that you might have access to. There is my quote section or my bid section, which provides quick access to all your quotes and bids that your company has submitted or saved to draft. Then there is the request section that displays the opportunities available for you under the contract that you've been awarded. Your profile tab will provide a snapshot of points of contact for each of your contract categories and your email notifications. The message section will provide any alerts or any activity on submitted quotes and notification requesting you to quote on an RFQ if requested. Next slide, please. Now we will look at how you can see opportunities that are available to you. An important note is that you will not be able to view RFQs posted under contracts that you have not been awarded. It is advisable to check eBuy each day for new opportunities and notifications. For searching RFQs, sometimes the list of RFQ opportunities can be rather long and cumbersome, especially if you have multiple contracts on one logon. eBuy provides a search RFQ tool to help you quickly narrow the list down to RFQs from specific industries or agencies. You can enter search items and eBuy will look into the following fields: RFQ number, the title, description, agency name, attachment, line items, etc. This will help you navigate and search for specific RFQs or key items or keywords and terms. Next slide, please. How do you get notifications? eBuy will provide email notifications if you are set up to receive them. Under the Profile tab, you will see a green toggle switch that email notifications are on. If you do not choose to get email notifications, or if you do choose to get email notifications, you'll be notified from eBuy when there are new opportunities, when Q&As have been posted, when an RFQ has been amended or canceled. You will also get notices if your quote was received, awarded, partially awarded, or if no award has been made. If a seller submits a question to a customer about a request, the customer may post the questions and their answers to eBuy for all selected vendors to review. In addition, customers may modify their RFQ at any time before closing. As a seller, you can see if the RFQ has any Q&As or has posted any modifications under the quote section. Once you find an opportunity, you will want to review it and prepare a quote. We strongly encourage you to respond to all customer inquiries, especially requests for information. Customers frequently utilize RFIs to determine the most appropriate contract vehicle, and any lack of response may lead them to perceive a lack of interest and could go with another contract vehicle. Next slide, please. As discussed previously, if you try to log into eBuy and you're unable to see your contract and you're having other technical difficulties, please reach out to the Vendor Support Center. We have provided you with their contact information on the slide. You can also refer to the contractor job aid for any details on any topics that we covered today. In January, we will be hosting a comprehensive eBuy training. This session will include a live demonstration of how to respond to a solicitation, and we will be available to answer any questions or address any issues you may have. Next slide, please. GSA offers a free optional advanced scope review, allowing customers to submit their draft requirement documents to ensure that the work falls within scope of the GWAC they intend to use. Instructions for requesting this review can be found on the GWAC overview page at gsa.gov/GWACs. You can find this under the Request and Optional Scope Review section. Next slide, please. For reference, here is the Polaris official website. Please bookmark and familiarize yourself with this address. Next slide. This is a screenshot of the Polaris website. The Polaris website is where you will find the master contract, the ordering guide, contract summary, and basic information like the contract types and ordering period. This is also where you find the industry partner spreadsheet and the pricing guide, which should be added at a later date. Also, if there are any, next slide. In this section, we will review the requirements for the contractor website and the marketing material deliverables, emphasizing that some are due very quickly after receiving the notice to proceed. Next slide, please. The contractor must provide their web address for review and approval via submission of the Polaris HUBZone pool deliverables Google form or via email at polarishubzone@gsa.gov. This deliverable is due 30 days after the receipt of the notice to proceed. When submitting, please include your Polaris contract number and website submission in the subject line. The slide also outlines the minimum web page requirements for the Polaris website, including a clearly identified link to the GSA Polaris GWAC website, the full Polaris service contract number, and the company UEI, specifically emphasizing the need to use the joint venture UEI for joint ventures. It is also noted that the sustainability practice and impact statement requirement is not being enforced at this time. Next slide, please. All marketing and promotional materials referencing the Polaris contract must be submitted for review and approval. An email should have the contract number followed by the press release marketing material request in the subject line. Also, the GSA star mark may be used following the guidance policy on the following website. You may also use the Polaris logo on the website and marketing materials. As a reminder, you should only list the base ordering period, currently, which is 12/2/2025 through 12/1/2030. Option years must not be included unless exercised. Next slide, please. COs must have a DPA before issuing any awards or mods against the Polaris GWAC, which requires them to be warranted contracting officers and meet training requirements. Next slide. It is important to understand that COs must first receive a written delegation of procurement authority or DPA from GSA. Upon receiving this DPA, they are authorized as ordering contracting officers or OCOs for Polaris. To obtain a DPA, a CO must first complete the Polaris DPA training. This training is designed to ensure that COs are fully aware of the specific requirements and procedures for issuing and managing task orders under the Polaris program. The agency CO will request a DPA by submitting a certification form at gsa.gov/GWACs for approval. We also recommend you confirm your DPA status, especially for sole source opportunities. Training options include attending a scheduled webinar, watching a self-paced YouTube video, or reviewing the ordering guide and certifying completion, with DPAs typically issued within 2 days. Yesterday, we offered our first Polaris DPA training that consisted of over 500 customers, so they are informed and ready. Next slide, please. Tips for success. We encourage you to review your welcome kit, contract, ordering guide, and recorded webinars as they become available. Be sure to review agency procurement forecasts, which can be found easily by Googling the agency name and procurement forecast. Know your unique capabilities and strengths and market those, using examples like expertise in AI. Develop a business plan targeting your existing customer relationships. You can also create a soft introductory email to GSA for customer assistance when customers are hesitant to use a GWAC. The biggest tip today is to respond to customer inquiries, especially requests for RFIs, because RFIs are often used to determine which contract vehicle to use. Again, I'm going to reiterate, the lack of response may lead customers to believe there is no interest and choose to use a different vehicle. Next slide, please. Again, here's the Polaris HUBZone team contact information. Feel free to email us any questions or inquiries by using Polaris HUBZone at gsa.gov. Next slide. Thank you for attending today. Again, we will send you a copy of the presentation and a summary with responses to the submitted questions. Please make sure you complete the survey that will be sent up in a follow-up email. We appreciate your feedback.